Hi and welcome to the channel, and today I'm joined again with Jamie with his showcase of an army that he's recently had commission painted by Blazing Brush Studios. So what have we got in front of us, Jamie?
So in front of us today we have my Drukhari army, or if you're proper English, it's Dark Eldar army.
Definitely.
I got this done up by Blazing Brush Studios because it's been on the back burner for a little while, and around Christmas obviously we heard rumours of 10th edition coming out, and I thought, right, now's the time to get an army commission painted, ready for it, otherwise it's not going to get done.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, we looked around, had a look at got quotes from people. I thought Blazing Brush were a brilliant, excellent quote, especially with the fact that the team prefer it if the models aren't built.
Yeah.
Saved me a lot of time.
Exactly.
And the build cost is included in the cost of the model.
Yeah.
So again, it made it very good for me. I originally sent off 3 characters to be painted to get tests. They were more than happy to do that. Then they sent it back. I then thought, right, I'm really happy with that, and then sent my army off in stages depending on what the type of the army was, so the Cults, the Covens, or the Kabals.
Yeah.
I just thought it was excellent service from them. Again, if you always ask questions, so you would give them a brief, how you want your models built. If they've got any questions or anything along the way, they're more than happy to ask you. Because again, the way their principle is it's your army, so it's got to be right for you. It's
got to be right, yeah, exactly. Like, and that's one thing I was impressed with when you were receiving the emails and questions back, and that, just to clarify what you wanted. And again, pictures along the way, keeping you updated of what's going on.
And it was really good because, as I said, we started around Christmas time into the new year, getting it sent off. And the final part of the army was received on the day 10th edition came out with the Violent box.
It was amazing.
So, and as you're going to see, there's quite a lot of stuff there. But
we're going to show you in several stages and that what we got painted, or what Jamie's had painted, and these are the order that it was done in as well.
Yes, exactly.
So let's start off with the first bit then, Jamie.
So up first, there's no better way to start a Wych Cult army than to have Lilith leading the army. I love this miniature. It's always been one of my favourites, and especially when they updated it last edition. And I just think the paint job that's been done on it is fantastic. I love the vibrancy and the highlight. Because the thing with Dark Eldar, you might think all dark, moody colours, but it's the vibrant hair and the weaponry that really brings out the character in those models.
I was going to say, I think they've really, Blazing Brush has really captured the essence of her leaping off that little bit of rock there, and again the edge highlighting on the model, and that is really, really cool. It does stand out, so where the light's hitting it.
So because of owning Lilith, the army is painted as Cult of Strife, the Wych Cult, because she is the leader of the Cult of Strife. And again, that's one thing I said in my brief, and they were more than happy to fulfill the fact of the brief. I want it done as this cult.
And next up then we got Erling, Jamie.
We have a Succubus. So if I didn't want to play Lilith, I've got this as a normal commander, or if I wanted to play a full Wych Cult, I could put both out.
Yeah.
And again, just going on with that vibrancy, if you look at the blues on the Agonizer, the highlighting on that, as well as the hair, I think the different colours all then make it blend together. It's just a fantastic model.
I think, yeah, again, hats off to GW, first of all, because obviously they've designed a miniature just full of motion, and again, I think with the painting that Blazing Brush has done with them, they've captured that motion, and again, all the figures and all the miniatures you see in that, I think really do capture it well. So the infantry in front of us then, Jamie, what have we got in front of us? So
directly in front of us we have a squad of 10 witches. Now this brings on a good point. I built this army during the round with the 9th edition codex, where you could have your Hydra gauntlets, your shard net and impaler, your razor flails. 10th edition then drops and all of those weapons are gone. It's just Hectari blades. But I don't care, because these look cooler in my opinion.
Yeah.
And again, as you can see, the different special weapons there, I think it really brings it together. Just to add to get more character, because if you've got the same witch running around, you want to have these different weapons to make them look like they're arena champions.
Gives them that individuality as well throughout the force. So on the wings then, Jamie, what have we got here?
So on the wings, again, we've got 2 more squads. This is, well, in 10th edition, in 9th it used to be 5, you could buy them in 5s, which is what I did, built for each Venom, as you can see behind. Now it's 10 witches, however the Venoms have a rule where you can, in effect, combat squad a unit down. So therefore, you are then having your 5s in your transport.
Let's just have a look at one of those Venoms a minute. So there's one of the Venoms.
And I thought you've got to have Witch Crew on there, just to give it, again, that bit more character onto those ones. I think it was mainly the Wych Cult I wanted to have the crew on there to show that they're leaping out of the transports and moving around. But fantastic. I just really loved, again, the highlighting on the vehicles.
They're all really, really good. And I say I'll just bring over the one in the centre because I want to show you this. This is really cool.
So this is the Raider, a classic transport for the Dark Eldar.
Yeah.
So we have got the 5s in the Venoms and we've got the 10 squad in the Raider, and then the characters can be attached to one of the units.
Trying to get this in the shot for you. There you go. The guy at the back there, sort of controlling the Raider there, he makes me laugh. He's really cool. And again, the guy and the witches and that leaping off, that's really nice. I like the way you got like the normal Kabal in there as well. So they're sort of like, well, we want to get involved with this.
Exactly, yeah. It's all personal glory between each of the factions there. But you also,
that's a nice one.
Yeah, and you've got the Dark Lance at the front. And again, that was my choice for Dark Lances.
Yeah.
Or disintegrator cannons.
So again, and one thing I do like about the vehicles throughout the army, and that is the shading that's been done with using the airbrush and that, and again the edge highlighting on top of that again. So again, it's really cool. So this isn't all of the Wych Cult.
No, this is the main infantry side of it and mounted in their transports. A lot of my army, if you see my infantry, has a transport attached to it because I think that's the way you've got to play Dark Eldar.
Mm-hmm. So this is the continuation of the Wych Cult then, Jamie. So what have we got now?
So what we have in front of us, we have the Reavers, the Hellions, and a Razor Wing jet fighter.
Okay, so let's start off then with the Reavers then. So here's the Reavers.
So you can't have a Wych Cult without any jet bikes running around, causing havoc. And again, just doing these little jet bikes made it, really brought the character out of the army, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So they're really cool. Love that. Very fast moving unit on the table.
Yep.
And then next up then, the Hellions. These are I do love these. I mean, how is he holding the glaive like that?
Because they're just weird like that and very acrobatic.
I like the way he's chained in. Look, if you look there,
yeah.
He's chained onto the
So in the lore, the Reavers and the Hellions actually hate one another.
Ah, so there's competition.
There's
then.
Competition in there. Yeah. That's the whole point. So that's why we've got a squad of them and a squad of the others.
Yeah.
So we've got 6 Reavers and 10 Hellions.
Yeah, really cool. This one is. And over the back then we have
the Razor Wing jet fighter.
There we go. Let's bring him down a minute. There we are. So let's take him back there. So he's really cool. Nice bit of fast moving air assets.
So it's not quite the bomber, but the jet fighter I think is done for that air to air, getting a bit of dogfight in, stop enemy assets damaging the raid that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. And again, lovely shadowing with the airbrush that's been used.
And the purple on the canopy, I think, as well.
And the edge highlight. And and the canopy, like I said, on the Venoms and that also look really cool. So that is the Wych Cult complete with the first part and then this one. So yeah, that's all really good. So let's get the next one up. Sure. So up next then, Jamie, we have the Haemonculus Covens.
Yep, these are done up as the Prophets of Flesh because they are being led by Urian Rakarth himself.
And here he is.
Here he is, with his weird pale flesh and his fleshy clothes. So this group of the army is basically like the weird culty side of it that's going to almost just basically they take your fighters and make the flesh out of the fighters.
Oh, right.
Of like in the failed fighters in the Comrade pits, and they imbue it with pain energy to make them fight to their will.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's really cool. Sounds interesting.
So, which is why if you're going up against Dark Eldar, if you read some of the Black Library novels, it's better to get killed than to get captured.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And up next here we have the Haemonculus. So he's a normal army commander. Now, with the way 10th edition works, a leader attaches to a bodyguard unit. However, both of those can only attach to racks. And I've only got 1 rack unit. So I feel like at some point I might need to get another rack unit and a Venom to go with them.
Talking of racks.
Here they are coming up. So this is the one with the Hex Rifle and a claw there. So as I said, these are basically made out of flesh by the Haemonculus and turned to fight with for all their will with pain energy.
It's like all the chains and that hanging down off of him there, you know, he's sort of like where he's been tied. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this would have probably have been like a guardsman.
Yeah.
Or his flesh made into those.
And behind them, obviously, you've got the Venom, which were their transport.
Their transport for it. So a lot of the infantry squads have a transport attached because, as I said earlier, that is the way I feel like Dark Eldar should be. It's pirates.
Fast moving pirates. Yeah. And these guys here, Jamie, these are really cool. I love these.
So these are the Mandrakes. They're basically they will appear, strike you, and then fade away into the so it's almost like a shadow form, and it's really been encapsulated in their almost zombified flesh. That you can see there, the dark flesh and the drooping hair. And the green flames. I just think they're really good, nice flowing miniatures. Yeah,
they say they are flowing. The whole motion, they look like they're in motion, don't they? And the painting of them as well keeps that motion and captures it really well. On the left here then, mate, what have we got here?
So we have a Talos.
Yeah.
So this is basically like a crazed machine. Again, the flesh would have been made from other species to make them. And at the top, it's got a twin heat lance. It has an I-core injector, and it's got a gauntlet around.
Again, with the chain, everything's got chains hanging off of them everywhere, isn't it?
Again, to show the fact that it's been almost captured in a way. So it's been imbued by pain energy, and it's basically a crazed machine that will just go out and murder. That is what its job is to do.
Yeah.
It's basically the fighting tank of this arm of the army.
Yeah, that's really, really nice. Do like that. And this one here then, mate, what have we got here?
So this is a Kronos.
Yeah. They're all on their little ball sockets, so you can take them off and store them.
Yep, so the Kronos here is almost like a feeder beast, and it's keeping the pain being distributed to the army.
Yeah.
So again, this will be behind the racks and the grotesques, keeping it going and flowing through.
Again, lovely painting. Again, highlight in there is really nice. Love the that on the back there. That's really, really nice. Sort of conjuring up energy and
exactly. Yeah. It's almost to be the feeder beast for them. If you imagine it almost keeping the army going, almost rationing its supplies, the supply in this case is pain.
It's pain.
It's dishing out pain to its own units to fight better.
Yeah. Hence, their army were always power from pain, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. And we got here then, Jamie.
So these are the grotesques, armoured cleavers. Now again, as I said in one of the previous sections, how I built the army with 9th, I went for cleavers because these were going to be my close combat troops. Now in 10th, they come with a cleaver and a liquefier gun. But obviously these are all armed with cleavers, but it doesn't matter because I'll play with both.
Yeah.
So again, these are made out of flesh of captured prisoners or failures in the pits to create these pain monsters. And these are basically just crazed, ravaged beast warriors, almost like an ogre. But crazed up. There's actually a book in Black Library where the Dark Eldar pretends to ally with the Tau, and because the Tau are so naive, they think, yeah, all right. They said, as long the only cost we have for allying with you is to have some of your fighters join our ranks. Tau, being as naive as they are, yeah, okay, that's fine. They then later on end up fighting some grotesques that have blue flesh. So they've actually been stealing their warriors to create more pain engines for themselves. Yeah, which is what I like about the Dark Eldar. They're just so conniving.
Pirates.
They're cunning. They're pirates.
And obviously you've got the raider behind at the back there to go with the grotesque.
Yeah, because the grotesques can't go in venoms.
Yeah. That's
so
really cool.
They're quite big. They need a big transport.
So let's say there's going to be a theme of raiders and that through this army. What else we got left to show you? So let's move on to the next lot. So next up then we have the first part of the Kabal. So like with the Witch covered in that, these were done in 2 parts. So where do we want to start, Jamie?
So we can start with the Archon at the beginning. These are the Kabal of the Black Hearts because they're just the cool armour. I love the armour, it brings it out. And this was one of the test models I sent off originally to see whether I liked the paint scheme, and this was the one that sold it for me.
Yeah, it picked out the facial features really well on this model.
Especially the blood on the husk blade as well, and the fleshy cloak that he's wearing, again with the different colours.
Yeah, it's really nice. Again, all the chains and everything on him, that's really cool. Love the miniatures are superb, and the painting has been excellent throughout. So what do we have next then, Jamie?
So if we start on the left here, we've got a Kabalite warrior unit, and this is the Cyberite unit leader. Got with a blast pistol and an agonizer.
Yeah.
And again, it's fantastically done. Really add that character and emotion to it.
Yeah, and the edge highlighting again really makes the paintwork pop on it, and again on the table it stands out really well. So again, excellent painting. Love the banner on the back, really, really nice. And
then next we've got a guy with a blaster to add a little bit of short-range melter to the army, punch through the enemy armour.
Yeah, definitely.
Really being those sort of pirates that
Tricksy.
They are. And if that's not done the job, we've got a big tool, we've got the Dark Lance to finish it off as well.
We started off with this one at distance, and then we move into the blasters at the end. Yeah. That's really cool. And they have their own raider to transport them around?
Yep, so across the army, if you notice, if it's a 10-man unit, apart from the 10 witches that can split down into 5s, if it's a 10-man unit, it's a raider. If it's a 5-man unit, it's a venom.
Yeah. So on the right-hand side, that's exactly the same as what we just showed.
So it's just an identical copy of the Kabalite warriors.
Yeah.
But the middle one's a bit different.
I was going to say, what's going on with the centre one?
So the middle one it's just a normal unit of Kabalite warriors. And we've got the Cyberite here. He's got a power sword and a blast pistol there. But the only reason this one exists because I wanted to get the Adeptus Arbites in the Soul Shackle box for Kill Team.
Kill Team, yeah.
They then announced that the Hand of the Archon Kabalite warriors were going to be going against them. I thought, spot on, that's for me. And again, this is just a normal Kabalite warriors kit, but it's got the kill team upgrades on them. It really brings out the character of what they are.
Yeah, and the upgrade sprues on all those kill team sets are
exactly.
really, really good. If you really wanted to do like a small little 500-point board and patrol force, build it around the core kill team lit.
Because you will feel attached to those models as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially this guy with the falcon here. Or the crow going out flying.
Really nice. Yeah, it's really cool. Again, they're all just full of. It makes it. The animation in the miniatures are good anyway, but those little X-ray sprues and that really do make it.
Exactly. Like for example, there's a squad medic in there.
Yeah.
You've got like a grenade guy, a butcher. And in the difference, so in the normal 40k game, the difference with that squad to the other ones is that has a shredder and a splinter cannon in it instead of a blaster and a dark lance.
Yeah.
Just to give it a bit more anti-infantry fire.
Yeah.
But again, they're still, because, you know, I've got another unit of Kabalites, well, they've got to have another raider, haven't they?
And they transfer the raider. That's brilliant. Let's move on to the next part. So finally then we have the second part to the Cabal, Jamie, and then obviously what have we got in front of us now?
So in front of us now is kind of like the blades for hire for the Cabal. So in the city of Comrade, they've hired these to go and help them with their missions. And up front, leading them, is the main man himself.
Which is Mr. Drazar, or Drazar.
Leader of the Incubi.
Yeah.
And this is my favourite model in the whole army.
It's a beautiful model. The actual sculpted animation of the model is nice. And again, with the painting that Blaze and Brush have done, and that has been superb.
It's just fantastic. It's the way that obviously the edge highlighting on the armour, the contrasted colours, jumping off of that rock, it really brings out the character of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's going to be leading the army from the front. And what's better to have him than to have some bodyguard backup of the Incubi?
And the Incubi themselves. And obviously this is the leader.
Yep, so he's got demi-claves, so he can either dual blade or single blade it.
So you can connect them together as technically and have a heavier attack.
Yep.
Okay. That's the ordinary one with
a normal clave there. And again, these are new miniatures that have recently come out. Brilliant sculpts.
Yeah, they are nice sculpts. And again, they're transported in the Venom. Now, can he go with them in the Venom as well?
Yeah, so that's why he's there, because he can only go with the Incubi, and likewise the Archon can only go with the Kabalites.
Yeah.
So they're going to go in the Venom.
So over the right here then we've got some Scourges.
Yep, Scourges. So they're going to, basically my heavy weapons teams that can deep strike in and unleash some pain there. So we have the unit leader with the blast pistol and the agonizer.
Yeah, very nice. The wings on them are beautiful, and they're kind of full of sort of, again, motion and that. So what have we got in the back? This one here, mate.
So this one's got a splinter cannon.
So how many you got splinter cannons?
So I've got 2 splinter cannons, 2 dart lances in the unit, and the rest of them have carbines.
Right, okay. So that's quite a lot of firepower on that from this unit.
Yeah, so it's almost like 2 anti-infantry weapons, 2 anti-tank weapons, depending on what the job's needed.
Yeah. And obviously there's the dart lance.
So I like the wings being the black. It's almost like a bat themed.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it's just look like they're just moving. I remember I had the original ones and that they were sort of just stood on the ground, like you know.
There was just a normal Kabbalite warrior with some wings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those really do look really, really cool. So the 2 vehicles then we have at the back. So a raidery looking one, but this is obviously not a raider.
No, it's a Ravager, and it's basically a mobile weapons platform with 3 dark lances on it, which you can tell by the 2 side weapons there.
Yeah.
Blowing the hell out of them. Big anti-tank capabilities.
Yeah, really cool.
And again, getting the crew on there to get it, just to really give that character.
Yeah, so they're actually using the vehicle, using the weapon systems and that. So really, really nice. Do like that. And again, I think that model's been around for quite some time now.
Yeah, it's fair. I think 5th edition.
Yeah.
I think.
And then the centre then at the back we have
a new toy, the Reaper from Forge World, which they've now just got rid of and haven't released rules for 10th.
I don't know. I think they will do. I think it's just. I think once these indexes get replaced and that, and obviously proper books start to come out, I think we will start to see the changes in that in the armies.
So this was just a special centerpiece model for now. Obviously, it's heavily rumoured that Vect might be coming back to the army, so he will end up being the centerpiece model. But he needs a big toy to show him that he's the boss. Yeah. So this is what that is, with that haywire gun on the front of it.
It's beautiful. It's a really nice looking model. The whole army we've now seen and that, and it's a fantastic looking army. And hats off to Blazing Brush and James and that for all his help and support doing this army for you. And I think
the best bit about it is about I sent it off in 3 or 4 stages, and yet it was all consistent.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see the lot of passion that they've put into the painting in there. So well, good value for money, well worth it. And again, we've already played some games. We've actually played Xeno's Rampant with them originally when the Wych Cult come back first, and had some great games with that. And obviously we've played with 10th edition with them. So it is really good. I'm glad to get them on the table. One thing I will say with what Blazing Brush done, and James, when he packaged the army up to send them back, out of the 3 packages that you received, you didn't have one breakage at all.
Exactly.
Well packaged, and thankfully our postal service and that looked after them.
This time.
Looked after them, and each package come back with each model and that intact, and that, as you've seen in that throughout this video. So again, hats off to James at Blazing Brush there.
Fantastic stuff. And as I say, it's always a bit annoying sometimes if you send something off and it comes back all broken. You think, oh, come on. But it's fantastic service.
Yeah, so yeah, brilliant service. So guys, in the description below is all the links to Blazing Brush's website and their Facebook page.
Yep.
Go check them out on that if you're looking and thinking about having an army commission painted. Really, we can't recommend it enough, and that they've done that's an excellent service.
Especially if you also don't like building miniatures. So I know some people it gets fiddly and stuff, and there's another reason these models are very fiddly to build.
Yeah.
So I was quite happy to let somebody else give it a go.
So there we have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please let us know about if you've got a Dark Eldar, or as I call it, or the Drukhari as it's now called. Let us know what you've got in your army and what you're going to be doing with it with 10th edition. So get it in the comments below, and let us know what you think to the army and that. So until next time, guys, huge thank you again to James at Blazing Brush and you guys for watching this video. Happy wargaming.